emerging groups, I would like to invite my co-founder Michelle Tan of Cell to present a little bit on what Cell does. Michelle, please.
Thanks, Mario. Just a brief introduction on who exactly we are, because you've seen our name thrown around. Sometimes we're not so sure either, but Cell essentially is the three of us, myself, Cairo, and Yi, who is sitting down there. And we were friends. We started doing theatre in JC. We got together years after that because our paths kind of went separately for a while. But we always knew kind of in the distant projectable future that we wanted to come together and we wanted to make theatre. We all have very different experiences, and currently as well we all hold individual day jobs. So it is possible, it will kill you, but the way I see it, this is kind of the age that you are capable physically, emotionally, and mentally of doing 5 things at once. So you might as well do it while you can. You know, give it a shot. And actually, just to follow up on that, and on that note about disapproving parents, or at least parents who grumble at your lack of a real job, that is a very real thing for me, even up till now. Since I was 17, which is when I started this, it's always been why you always do charity work, you know, why you always playing that, right? Same as Sasi. The trick I found is to ask them to come and see your shows. So everything that you involve your parents. I needed to conduct my first ever production meeting in my life last night. The night before, instead of cooking myself up somewhere in my room, I had dinner with my parents and I talked to them about it. I said, I need to tell these people these ideas. If I can convince my parents to understand it, chances are other people in the artistic world will also understand it. So use your parents in that way, you know, and just get them involved. They come and see a show and will not understand a single thing. But I think for 95% of parents, seeing your child kind of on stage and doing something, even though it's utterly incomprehensible to you, you will feel a certain sense of pride. And I think even though my parents wouldn't admit that, they feel it lah. So it's quite nice. Theatre Cell basically wants to focus on the process of theatre. So we want to kind of try and step away from things that are outcome driven, which is why we are very interested in conducting dialogues like that, in just bringing people together, not necessarily for the sake of, because I think there are a lot of companies out there, as we will hear from later, who are new or emerging, even existing ones, where it's like, let's get together and put out a show. And while we love to do that, we have done that before, I think for us also the focus is just on how do we keep using theatre as a practice, how do we keep practicing, how do we keep playing with it, how do we really theatre being like sport, and how do we keep training in it, so to speak. So ambitiously amongst us and our relatively limited experience, we've conducted free workshops before. We also a lot about accessibility. We want to invite people in to say, you know, let's learn about mask work. And I think what I've learned from this process is just the generosity of people in this community. You'll be surprised. Because as people who are, I guess, sort of used to doing things for free, a lot of people say yes, and all you need to do is ask. You know, we had someone from the Finger Players come and very kindly do a mask workshop with us, for instance. Puppetry, live. Puppetry workshop. And which was fantastic. You know, so people, you bring their things, and there's a lot of willingness to share, which I think has been very reflective in the panel discussion today as well. And I think that's something that, you know, we feel that we wanted to tap on, and that we wanted to just, like everyone said, pay forward, to bring forward. So that's us. I have 4 groups here who will want to give brief introductions to themselves, and I'll just let them speak for themselves. So first up, can we have, anybody has a burning desire to go first? Why don't we start with our company? So.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having us here today. We are from our company. Our company is made out of 4 friends, Luke, myself, Rosemary, Jun Kai, and our friend Sophie, who is present here today. Our company is really for people who really want to do theatre but cannot do it full time, as we mentioned earlier. So we all have full-time occupations that we are really, really passionate about it, and we would still like to continue to do it after work and in any time that we can find. We have been very fortunate to be able to work with both professionals as well as people who are just starting to find their ground in the theatre industry. And we would like to talk about our production that we just did.
Hi, Luke. Rosemary has introduced. Maybe just a bit of history, how we got to know each other and how we formed it. We did, this is our third show together actually. The first show was just a bunch of friends, actually just Sophie, another one of our friends, and Kai, they got together and we did a series of short plays. And they found that they would manage to make it work. Like they found a way to do all the admin and to do all the producing. And so last year we decided we'd try again. And last year we did an original work. It was a collection of ghost stories. It was called Pantan. I think it was generally quite well received. It was a simple show and it worked. So we thought, yeah, if we found a way to do it, we can continue making shows. So we decided to start a company. And the reason why we exist really is because we believe there are people like us and people who have full-time jobs outside the theatre and just should be given opportunity to practice their craft. We just had our inaugural production in July. We did a double bill, revivals of plays from 1995. So Ovidia used Hokkien Mee and Del Perkins' Three Children. And personally, these were plays, like I watched Hokkien Mee. I never watched Three Children, but that was when I started watching theatre in 1995. And I was immersed in this world of Singapore theatre, and I heard so much about all these shows. And I always tried to imagine what it was like to have watched Three Children. And I knew there were videos available. We didn't decide not to watch it, but in a sense, I wanted to recreate theatre history for ourselves. Why we chose these two shows is because we thought, as an inaugural production, what do you do? And the instinct was to stop and look back where we came from and the theatre that's come before us, and to examine it, to just throw ourselves into it, to get into it, and see how you react to it. And I think the idea was to look back before we look forward. Besides revivals, we also want to do more original work. And so for next show, what will probably be middle of next year, we'll be looking at original device work. So that's who we are.
I would just like to start by saying thank you for the advice for my question just now. I really think that commitment is what really brought us together in culture. I'm Shane from Couch Theatre. We're a group of people who did drama together in JC, and we really like doing drama, but then after JC, the opportunities just end there, we go our different ways, like you said just now. So, things happen, but then now we are all in NS and uni. None of us have actually a proper job or anything like that, but we just wanted to do a production, so we just got together and we said, if we have some time, we just do a play. So we just, we picked the play and we did it, and we did Melancholy Play, which just ended in July. So, a bit about how that started out was just that three of us, we thought we had an idea for doing a play, and we just started roping people. And because I'm currently in NS now, I have an 8 to 5 job, so actually my nights are free. So a lot of us are like that, and uni students as well, they have some time. And we just got people together with a lot of free time, and we just did this thing. Yeah. A bit about how we started our rehearsals. Like Ms. Natalie said just now, Natalie. Natalie said just now, we had to find our rehearsal spaces, and because we had no money to pay for it, it was totally funded by ourselves. Like each of us just put some money together to form a base capital, and then because we had to save our rehearsal spaces, so we tried to scrape around for places. We went to function rooms in condos, we went to people's houses. One of our friends had a house that was under renovation, so thankfully we could use that. So yeah, we were just saving costs here and there. We were just really struggling, and it's the epitome of a struggling thespian. Yeah, I don't know if we have enough experience to call ourselves that, but really what drives us is the commitment and the passion, and that every day you come here and you see this group of people who come after camp. They are staying, so they have to leave. They have to go back to their camp. Their camp is in Choa Chu Kang, we're rehearsing Battle, and they have to camp back and forth all the time. But then once we get there, we are like, hey, we have 4 hours. We'll do a proper rehearsal and we'll put up a show that is very good at the end of it. So I think that's what kept us driving on. Like even though it's tiring, even though things were expensive, even though we didn't know what to do, we just threw ourselves in the deep end of the pool, and we didn't really have any formal training or anything. We didn't have much help except from NAC. We applied for the Pocket Rocket grant. Yeah, just a bit of advertisement. So yeah, none of us were professionals or anything, so we got all the help we could, but then I think things turned out quite well, I think. And we really look forward to having a lot of mentorship opportunities. We'll go out there and look for things and do more good theatre, I guess. Yeah, my concern just now about it not being a financial thing, personally, I'm okay with it, I guess. I think it's really the commitment. I don't know when I'm at the stage where I can be concerned about it yet, but like you said just now, this is the time to go out there and do 5 things at a time, so I guess that's what we're really doing now. Yeah, and also, if I may, one of our, actually he's from Couch as well. He actually raised a point about why do we want to do theatre? Is it self-indulgent that we put up things and we pull our friends to come and watch, and what is our purpose in doing it actually? Do we have something to say? And I think Mr. Chong Ziqian just said, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm okay, I'm 20, so I'm probably younger than everyone else. Anyway, so he mentioned something about an agent of change, or theatre being an agent of change. So, my literature teacher once said to me that literature is about how words affect people, it's about how words shape the way we think. And I think theatre is very much like literature. So, we have a responsibility to the people who come into the theatre. They pay us some money, they come in here, they sit down for 2 hours, just listen to us say something. So, I think we as people put up plays, I think for me personally, I have a responsibility to them. What do I want to say to them that is worth their time, that's worth their money? So that's really what keeps me going on as well, is that do I have something worth saying? If not, then I won't say anything. But if I do, then I want to say it in a way that they will like it. Yeah. And it's worth considering for them in their capacity as an audience. Yeah. I'm sorry I'm wearing my so please forgive me. Thank you very much.
Okay, maybe next we can have Ross.
Hi everybody. I'm Ross, and this is Melissa Sim. I think I'll let her introduce How Drama.
We're from How Drama. How Drama is a theatre company that specializes in site-specific work and interactive work, and we actually had 2 performances. We've done Fat Kids Are Harder to Kidnap, which was our mainstay performance for 3 years already. Fat Kids Are Harder to Kidnap. And this year we did it at the Estimate, and we're just going to show you a short video clip, which may not be ready. But really, Yeah. So this is Fat Kids. This is on the beach, which were inspired by the individual films, which were like art films, like Marina Routledge, IAA, and stuff like that. So that was also something I did. And we worked with LaSalle dancers, which was a good experience. And since it's still not ready, what I want to say about Fat Kids is...
Let the Fat Kids say that. Fat Kids, well, I think, hopefully, I'm not sure if the video is ready. It is. I will continue. So, all Fat Kids is really an avenue. I think the idea for Fat Kids is, like lady who just mentioned a little before, is to create or to nurture not to nurture new audience, but to create a space where people can enjoy something, even though they may not understand what theatre is about, for them to just enjoy something, to create to create an avenue for people to just come in. Some people may not be able to watch a 1 hour long live show, I don't know why. Or, they may not understand, some of the works may be, experimental, not, yes. Not sure if I'm offending anybody when I say these words, I hope not. But ideally, it's just to allow people to come in and watch something simple that they can enjoy, and hopefully that nurtures more audiences. That gives us all a whole lot more people to watch our shows as well, and hopefully it's a good starting point for people who have never watched theatre as well. When I first started theatre, my mom has no idea what I'm doing on stage, and and my sister's friends and now I'm teaching. Most of my students, they've never watched theatre. They go for drama classes, but they don't understand why you need to have lights and sound, and etc. So I think it's a good avenue to teach, to introduce, to reintroduce, and just to continue nurturing audiences. So maybe this will be we will just show a video.
Sprained his ankle, so I'm the oldest member of the group here. Yeah, I feel a bit, I'm quite young, I'm young at heart. Okay, so I apologize because I have a PowerPoint slide and it's a job hazard. So, yeah. So, do you have that? Yeah. Okay, so what happened? I just have to give you a very quick thing. Chemistries happened because 8 graduates from NAFA and LaSalle and NTU came knocking at my door. I'm a reluctant leader, or mother hen as they would call me. The reason why it started was I was teaching then part-time at LaSalle and NAFA, and we had some encounters with people from NTU, and I was sharing the philosophy of the late William Teo, and as Sasi shared, he was the artistic director then of Asian Theatre Research Centre, and how we as young actors would work with William, just train with him 3 times a week. We'll go for Zen meditation every Tuesday without fail. Right? He knows even if we are not there. I don't know how. Okay. And every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. we would train then at the LaSalle Goodman Center. And I would tell the students we had to clean the floor with with just a rag, right? We had to, we want to cook, we all have to cook together. William, so anyhow, I'm going to stand up now, feel a bit uncomfortable. So William, I was sharing this, and I was also sharing them, and I was teaching them Kalari Payat, which is a South Indian martial arts, which is a psychophysical form. So they said, Elizabeth, is there anybody here? And I said, no, only me for now, hopefully they'll be soon. And they kept knocking, and I, really get away, leave me alone, I have other things to do. So then, next slide please, under the associate artist, I was then an associate artist of the substation. So I went knocking even louder on Audrey's door, and I said, Audrey, there's this bunch of people coming in, and I want to form this group. I think it's important for me to continue the memory, the history of William's teaching. Not that I'm William Teo, but I've evolved. I don't look like William. And so Audrey said, yeah, here's the space. These are Shala, Xavier, JJ, Suen, and the youngest member now is Vignesh, are the current members. But before that, we had people like Ian Loy, Matthew Hughes, who went back to Australia right now. And these people were very dedicated. It was really amazing. We said that the first production that we put out was in 2010, but we were formed in 2008. And my conditions to them was this: you have to train with me 3 times a week. You have to say no to all the projects that were coming in. If you don't turn up to rehearsals, like within 3 weeks, I don't want you in, because I was going to commit 3 times a week on my time, and they didn't pay anything, So we were training in the substation, and they were very dedicated. Young graduates, we were trained like crazy, and then Ku Xiaoming and Wei Tong were from NTU, and they were interested in the work. They are now, filmmakers in their own, and they came also for rehearsals. They would just sit down there and watch. What we were doing. And yes, Audrey, of course, yeah. And so two of us, both Shelley and me, we actually we are what we call the training facilitators. So we introduce them different things. We had David coming in once also. Right now, we have done, since 2008, we've done 4 shows, and they were, first show that we did was Lower Decks. Next slide, please. Yeah. And this was, we were very lucky, and I was very influenced by William, because he wanted to do Lower Decks at Gorky's play, and I wanted to do Lower Decks, and I wanted to immerse myself in the building. So, and what happened was we got Shada to actually write the grant proposal. And I said, you have to learn now how to write a grant. Of course, Audrey was there to help, and I'm not going to write anything. You're going to form the company's training philosophy, methodology, and we're going to sit down and do a budget. And she did it. She rose the occasion. We got Suen to speak to Maya Theatre Dance Company because they had a house. I think it was Little India, and to speak to them so that we can move in 2 months before time without having to pay. And the deal was they made that we will clean up the whole space, and we did. I think Maya Dance Company, when we got back the place, they were very thankful that we cleaned up the whole space. So, even though they call me the mother hen, but a lot of the work comes from these young people. I wish they were here to actually share with you their experience. And so next slide, please. So this is another one where, let's move on. Okay. So this is what the dog was when actually the substation, when Fendi just became the artistic director, he wanted to set up this kind of dialogue where I think theatre strays, and then was a group of people and collect 3 of us to meet in this ground to share our working methodology, but it kind of fell through, so we were there, and Suen said, I want to do a show. And I said, okay, speak to Fendi, and we got Fendi, and Suen was the main link with the programmer. The group, we all really operate as a training ground, because I think theatre, the education of these young graduates need to happen after they graduate. So next slide, and this is just when there, right. And then we have paper boards, and this was quite interesting because it was the first time that the Esplanade came to us and said that whether we wanted to do a show, and the team was called Closer because they saw Lower Decks, which was a site-specific work. And a lot of the people that you see are all recent graduates of the cell. I make it a point to actually work with these young artists, young graduates for various reasons, because I think William gave me, just to continue the philosophy, because I was very fortunate when I just came back from Australia when I met William and I met Sasi, and who gave me that opportunity. And I think if I didn't have the opportunity, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So that's what Theatre Strays is. Next, let's see. So the next process, because we took a break after Paperboard because I was tired, and I told them, I said, okay, I think it's time for you all to go out. leave the house, go and work, do other stuff, and they did. But they came back again, and they're back. Yeah. So this time round, Shada, Harrison, and Xavier and JJ said that they want to learn how to train and teach other actors. So that's the next level now for Theatre Strays, where predominantly I'm imparting certain skills that has been taught, that has been passed on to me. And they are curious about Mexico because they saw a show that we did, and I think Shada's trying to look at international collaboration on her own accord. Xavier, very young guy, he wants to establish partnerships. I think they have all these dreams. I'm just scared that I'm happy for them. And I mean, that's what Theatre Strays is about. And I think the play on the name Strays is that the door is always open to anyone who knocks. However soft, however loud, the door will be open. And it was actually a phrase that, and the name actually came about from these young people, because at that time when they were just recent graduates, like some of you all who are graduating, they had nowhere to go. So that's what Theatre Strays is about. We're not a company, we're just a collective. Predominantly we just focus a lot on actors training. We try and invite different people to come in to give workshops. And I actually am not the one that sets the sheet, sorry, not sheet. But yeah. So I do believe, I try to maintain the training that I've had so that the younger practitioners like you guys, emerging one, will be able to continue the memory and history that I've been passed on to. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for all the things that I shared. But before we adjourn for lunch and end today's session,